Hey folks, and all be all here, and we are in the finals for the second week of 5v5. Let me give you a quick recap of the first couple of matches because I think the last match I decided to play without any audio, just uploaded the videos. So let's give a quick overview of my week so far. The very first match we had was against Crazy Mad Jason, which was a mismatch more or less. So I decided to do a theme where I went with all female leads and managed to do female leads on both offense and defense and managed to win pretty comfortably. My opponent was only able to clear one zone, but it was a mismatch, so it really doesn't count. The next round was with Falcon RTP, which I uploaded a video without any commentary. This one also I was able to get two zones to hold, wasn't able to clear my ships, where I had both get two ships on defense, and then wasn't able to touch my back zone as well after getting through my Ray and DR in the front. So two matches were pretty comfortable victories, but our current opponent for today, CapaFerro, is a pretty good opponent from the guild FC Bravo. So this is the same alliance as the one that Zaret, Solo, and Kleso are in, FC Nova. So they've got a good set of players out there. They're very TW focused. They really know their counters, especially the off-meta counters. And in general, they're pretty good players. And CapaFerro is a really good player as well. His lifetime balance is only 515k, but if you can see his title, it's Trapped in Carbonite. So you'll know that he's missed at least a season or two to get that particular title, Trapped in Carbonite, which means his actual score is way higher. He's got really good mods, and he's modded his characters exactly the way that you need to for a good counter. And the other thing I would point out is in the last match, in CapaFerro's second match of this week, he faced off against an opponent with 4 GLs, and CapaFerro himself is only 2 GLs. So he managed to beat an opponent 2-4, being outmatched by GLs, not by 1 but 2 GLs. So that was pretty impressive. I did briefly chat with him on chat, and he was being pretty humble. He mentioned that it was because the guy didn't have really good mods, but I think that he's being a little too humble, and this guy's a good player, and I think I'm definitely going to be in for a challenge. So let's see what we have for offense and defense. I've gone ahead and my opponent has gone and cleared my front zone. CapaFerro said that he'll probably have a little more time to attack tomorrow. I'll probably do a few battles today and then make a plan, and then maybe I'll come back tomorrow and do a few others. But let's see how it goes today. So talking briefly about my defenses. So first, before we move on to the actual defenses, let me show you guys a little bit about the work I've done in trying to scout my opponent and try to figure out exactly what I should anticipate on defense, and what I should take on offense. Because with good players like CapaFerro, it's always you need to before you even step into battle, before you even set your own defenses. Sometimes the match is decided right over there because you need to know in exactly what your opponent is going to take in. And the way that you guess it is obviously looking at the swgoh.gg history. And I have this file where I pull the data from swgoh directly. So let me show you what exactly I anticipate my opponent's setting on defense. So this is what I anticipated before during the defense phase itself. And you can see over here, my opponent, these are the last 4 seasons of 5v5 Grand Arena for my opponent, and exactly all the teams that they've set. So the yellow teams are the ships that they've set, and you can see over here my opponent likes to really vary it up. So we have Negotiator, Radis, Chimera, Home One, Malevolence. He's kept almost everything on defense, and you'll see when we go to his ships, he's got some pretty decent rebels as well, and Empire. So this guy's comfortable in using all sorts of counters. So I need to be careful on the ship zone. And then if you take a look at the red cells, those are all the times that my opponent has kept GLs on defense. And he's got a couple of GLs. There's only been one time where he's kept both GLs on defense, GL Ray as well as Master Luke. but mostly he just likes to keep GL Ray on defense. In the last 2 rounds of the last week, he did not keep any GL on defense. He kept both on offense, probably because his opponents kept GL Ray and Supreme Leader Kylo, so that might have been his counter against that. But yeah, overall, pretty comfortable with the counters. And then if you see some of the other teams that my opponent has kept on defense, he loves to keep Mon Mothma on defense. So almost all the weeks I've seen, except for the last week of the last 5v5 season, he's kept Mon Mothma with Chirrut, Baze, Biggs, and Lando almost all the time. Um, I would also let me also filter for a few other key teams that my opponent has likes to keep on defense, and let's take a look at those. If I take a look at Commander Luke Skywalker, that's also something that my opponent has almost always kept on defense with the C3PO, Chupio, and the rest of them. So that's something that I can anticipate to keep on defense, which is why I kept my own Grievous Newt on offense. Usually I keep that team on defense, but I decided to keep that team on offense. That and this guy, I think CapaFerro usually takes out Grievous teams with Newt pretty easily with Night Sisters. So I didn't want to use that against give him an easy win against that. So I decided to keep my GG Newt to take against the Commander Luke Skywalker. And I also noticed that he keeps Padme quite a lot on defense, almost every single round. So I can expect to see Padme on defense as well. And he's varied it up, but I have a feeling he's usually going to keep Padme with when I went in for defense, I had a feeling he's going to keep in Padme with the regular squad and R2D2. Let's see whether he's done that or not. Apart from that, my opponent has the other reason. So I decided to keep my CLS squad on offense just to counter the Padme squad because I wasn't sure exactly because his Padme is actually modded pretty well. So I didn't know whether my Treya squad is going to work or not. And if I see what my opponent usually takes against, because I usually keep CLS on defense, if I see what my opponent usually takes against Commander Luke Skywalker, you'll see over here that he takes the Grievous counter against Commander Luke Skywalker, which means that my Luke team is going to be taken out cheaply anyway. My opponent always keeps Grievous on offense, so he's going to take out the Luke team pretty easily using the Grievous counter, which is another reason for not keeping CLS on defense because this is a relatively cheaper counter to CLS. So that's the reason I have my CLS on offense to counter my opponent's Padme. And if I take a look at and let me see if there's anything else I want to call out. He always keeps his JTR and crew on defense as well. Let me filter for those and I can show you. So his JTR and let's see, crew, Kylo Ren Unmasked. So if I take a look at these two teams, I see that he's almost every single time placed these two teams on defense as well, which is why I have to be prepared with good counters for these ones. But I have a feeling if you look at how he set his GL rays, it's usually in the front. So I have a feeling that if he set his ray, it's probably going to be in the front. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to be there. I mean, there is one instance where he kept Ray probably just probably at the back or maybe just before the ship zone. So I have to see. Maybe I might get a GL at the back, but in most cases you see Ray has been attacked first, which means I can expect to see Ray in the front or not at all, if that's the case. So let's see. Let's see what surprises he has in store for us at the back. So now let's get back to our defenses itself. And given that my opponent has really good mods, what I decided to do was all the teams that I kept on defense, I wanted to make sure that they have really good speed on them and they outspeed my opponent on quite a lot of fronts. So you'll notice that all the teams that I've set on defense are at least at 330 speed. So just to get that initial starting boost. So here I've got my Darth Revan who's at 335 or 339, I don't remember. He took that out for about 55 banners, I believe. And then there's the gas team where Rex is 292 speed, so effectively 350 speed after the uniques and bonuses. So and that one, I believe he got 53 banners on that. Might have been a mirror match for that. For both of these, I think it could have been mirror matches. And then at the back, I have my my crew team, where I have my Hux at about 282 plus 30. It's about 312 speed. It's not as fast as it should be, but reasonably fast. I mean, this one does have Hux and Red Trooper, so it makes it a little tricky for the JTR counter. And he's got JTR on offense anyway, on defense anyway. And then I've kept my Padme with Shark T this time. Usually I keep her with Barris or R2D2, but this time I kept her with Shark T, and Shark T is relatively fast as well, 333. So she's going to get a jump and go fast. If he decides to use Vader against it, I have a feeling his Vader probably won't be able to outspeed that Shark T at 333. So that's the team over there. Down here, I've kept my BAM squad, which has been doing pretty well actually. It's got quite a few holes for me last time in the last week in 5v5s. I've kept usually when I keep BAM on defense, you have to keep them with 2 tanks. A lot of people like to go with Quill and L3. Some people like to go with Quill and Cara Dune. I like to go with Stormtrooper Han because of the extra turn meter generation and the protection recovery. I always like to keep Nest with BAM just because of the tremendous amount of offense that Nest generates. This team, in fact, was able to defend against a Treya team last time and a JKR team as well. So definitely keeping that team on defense. Hopefully, that team does well. And the speedy one over here is Quill with 339. So he's going to go first and give everyone turn meter and hopefully get a jump on the squad. And then I've got my Cara Dune under Django lead over here. And Cara Dune gets the plus 30 from the Django lead because she's a scoundrel. So she's going to be at 340 speed effectively. Hopefully she's going to go first, reduce the enemy turn meter, and then that is going to get my bounty hunters the edge. So that is the hope over there. And then I've got my resistance squad where my hero Finn is 331 speed. So again, that's meant to be problematic, but as you can see over here, I've made a mistake of keeping my hero Finn in the lead instead of OG Finn, which is, I'm ashamed to say, not the first time I've made this mistake. So this team is probably not going to be as threatening as it should be. I mean, under Finn lead, this actually can be a very, legit squad. Poe has got tremendous synergy with OG Finn. He gives extra tenacity, I believe 22% tenacity to OG Finn. So it becomes a little more difficult to land debuffs. And there's always cleanses on this team, the 2-3 different sources of cleanses. And there's tons of turn meter generation because there's 3 characters at least who can expose. Resistance Trooper benefits a lot from turn meter in terms of exposes and all that. So this would have been a legit squad if I had OG Finn in the lead, but I think this probably will be taken out for easy banners now because of this mistake. But hopefully the rest of my defense will do a decent job. So pretty speedy defense, and then you can see over here I decided to keep both my get ships on offense this time just because my opponent has legit ship defense. So I kept my Empire and Rebel fleet on defense. Hopefully, let's see what my opponent has kept on defense, and then we'll know how this team is done. So let's see how much of a guess was accurate in terms of my opponent's defenses, CapaFerro's defenses. So JTR with the heroes and BB-8 and R2, just like we predicted. We've got Mon Mothma with Baze and Lando and Biggs. And then we've got the crew squad. So pretty much, what we expected. And there's no GL at the south. So I have a feeling that there could be a GL Ray at the back. We'll have to see if that's the case or not. But there are 2 tough squads out here. There's the CLS squad, which I was expecting to keep, which is why I have my GG Newt on offense. And then he's kept Padme, but he's kept his 501st with them, which is interesting to see. Now, this does make it more difficult for the Treya counter. Maybe he might have seen from my history that I used a Treya or EP counter quite a lot on Padme. And this would have made it tricky over there. But luckily, I have my Luke on offense. So I should be able to take that out pretty effectively with Commander Luke because of the turn meter generation. There's one disadvantage of this Padme squad is clones rely a lot on turn meter generation, whether it's Rex's unique or Rex's special or 5's unique, which gives him turn meter every time clones are damaged. But Padme's lead obviously prevents turn meter generation for the own team. You can't reduce the turn meter or or they can't gain turn meters. So that is going to be one feature of the clones that is probably they won't be able to use as well. But let's go against the Luke squad first and take that out, and then we'll try our own Luke against the Padme squad. So I checked the tenacity. There's not much tenacity on 3PO and Chewie, just 14% extra, and not as much tenacity on Chewbacca as well. Both of them have got a damage build. I think I might be able to land some decent amount of target locks. Let's see. So the way that, I mean, let's see if they're able to kill Newt first, because that will give my General Grievous a good turn. So they did not target Newt, which is fine. I think, oh, there we go. Now they've killed Newt. So now a lot hinges on what happens now, how many target locks we're able to get. We didn't get many target locks, which is really unfortunate. Let's try to do a basic over here on 3PO and get a target lock there. And let's apply a extortion on Newt, on CLS. And then let's heal up Grievous a little bit. And I'm going to go after Chewbacca. Or should I go after Chewpio? Nah, Chewbacca is the more dangerous one. And we landed the stun, which is great. Let's see if we can't land a stun on Han, or a target lock on Han. Ooh, that was unfortunate. We lost our B2. But hopefully we can get... everyone has got target lock, so that's great. Got rid of that guy. Let's attack Luke Skywalker. You know what? Let's actually just finish off Chewbacca. Let's heal up Magna Guard a little bit. These guys are not going to counter. And let's finish off Han Solo. And another extortion on Luke. Let's top up Grievous, because he's going to go next. And now let's finish it off with a basic. So it gets messy. 55 banners is not the best, but at least it's a one-shot against a relatively tough team. So that worked out okay for us. And my opponent also, just to remind you guys, on the front zone, he got 55 and 53. So right now we are matching banners, at least at the initial phase. Now we need to go after Padme. Now for this one, I'm going to use my CLS squad, and I'm going to try to get rid of Padme first, then go after fives, and try to take fives down before the clones get too trigger happy. So there you can see they did not get turn meter, and you can see over here my Luke does not have guard because I gave him extra health. Ooh, that was bad luck. That was a dodge. I don't know if I'll be able to finish Padme. Come on. Okay, there we go. Padme is down. I'm not going to dispel the tenacity up because it gives me turn meter. So I'm just going to go after fives. Let's just keep going after fives with basic so that we get turn meter from everyone. There we go. Fives is down. Now we need to take care of... oh, wow. These guys are going to take care of them, of it themselves. Let's take care of Rex. All right. And this should give us 59 banners, I think. 58. A little bit of protection lost. Okay, that's fine. We're still ahead by about 5 banners in the front zone. Let's see what we have at the back, and then we can plan. All right, excellent. So we've got the Darth Revan team, and we've got Rey with Malik, which is really interesting. So he does have his Rey at the back, and I think the surprise that he had for me was Darth Revan. He usually never keeps Darth Revan on offense. So that on defense. So that's going to be a surprise for me. I'll have to figure out what to take against that. I do have three GLs to spare, so I can, I do have enough to take care of these ones as well as, reasonably handle something at the top over here. But this is a good defense. I really enjoy playing against tough defenses like this. So kudos to CapaFerro for setting a surprise for me at the back. So I'm going to make a plan, and then I'm going to come back to see how I do against these ones. That does mean that CapaFerro has got potentially he's got just one GL. Uh, Luke to take against my own defenses. So let's see how he does against that. So I'm going to give it some time, make a plan, and then I'm going to come back, and then we're gonna get started. Catch you guys shortly. Okay, I think we have a plan in place. Let's go ahead and take care of the teams at the back first. So against the Ray, I'm probably going to take, and there's not much damage apart from Ray herself and Nest, but I'm probably going to take in my JML. Now this Ray squad is supposed to be an anti-Vader squad, given that there are three tanks, but I think I'm probably just going to use my JML against it. I'm going to go in with JML with Luke and Wat Tambor. Wat to give the tank tech to Luke. And make him taunt, and then I just get to my ultimate as soon as I can, and then with that, hopefully, I should be able to take care of Ray by ignoring taunts. So let's see if this is effective. All right. Firstly, tank tech to Luke, Jedi Master Luke, and then let's do this. Okay, no lifeblood, which is good. Let's apply ability block again. And I'm going to get to my ultimate as soon as I can. Let's do that. Let's stun everyone. And let's keep working on Ray. Weapons tech to this Luke. Excellent. So she didn't do her ultimate, which is great. We need to get him to damage immunity as soon as we can. Let's give this to him. And let's call him to assist again. So she's in damage immunity, which is great. Let's give Master's Training to JML, or JKL rather. And let's keep plugging away at our ultimate. Let's see, who do we want to give this to? Okay, so she's at an ultimate, so we can go ahead and take care of Darth Malik. Who do we give this to? Maybe to... yeah, maybe to old Ben. Really doesn't matter. Let's do this again. Malik is gone. And let's keep working on our ultimate. Okay, so looks like we've got our ultimate now in the next ability. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll have to recover some protection on our what's his name? Wat Tambor. Ability block again. Excellent. Old Ben actually was pretty useful over here for taking care of ability blocks on Ray. Oh my, that shot was too powerful. I was hoping to recover some more banners, but yeah, I didn't think that it would take everyone out immediately. But it was effective. 58 banners against that Ray, and he ended up wasting Malik over there, which is good to see. All right, what else do we want to take? We have a Kylo Ren and we have our Ray. Should I use... I know Kylo and Ray both can solo the J the Darth Revan squad. Maybe I'll do it with Rey. You know what? Rey can also solo the Kylo Ren squad over here. Nah, you know what? I think I'm going to just go ahead with Rey against DR over here. And then take Kylo Ren up north against one of the teams back there. So a couple of lifebloods, and then you do a whirlwind to take out one of these characters. And then do some more lifebloods. Get into damage immunity so that you can't be harmed. And then take down Basti when you can. There we go. Ultimate comes around. And this should take out at least a couple of them. Okay, and now you just keep doing basics to recover full health so that you end with 64. Okay, so that was a good outcome. It's not a tough team without Malik. Even with Malik, Ray can very easily get 64. All right, so what do I want to use against these other squads? Probably use my Jedi Knight Revan against the JTR, and then SLKR versus the crew. Maybe I'll do that. So this is the Jedi Knight Revan squad that I have. Let's take this in. I think it should be okay versus JTR. So I got to mark. Probably have no choice but to mark Rey first and try to get rid of her as soon as we can. Spread some buffs around. All right, let's go after Rey. We probably will trigger Savior here pretty fast. There we go. Let's heal up a little bit. Okay. Now we need to go after Poe. It's called Revan. Heal him up a little bit. They are going after Revan, which is not that great. Okay, let's finish off for whoever we can. Let's do a basic. Okay. Let's call Basti to assist. Let's call Revan to top him up. And this should end in probably 60. There we go. Good outcome. All right. Let's continue. I think our video is lagging a bit, but let's continue with the battles. Now we've got a SLKR that we can take against the crew over here. And I haven't really, it's a non-ultimate SLKR, and I'm not sure how much damage these guys can do, especially red in there. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take should I take in SLKR, Phasma, and First Order Officer? If I lose those guys, I'll probably end up losing banners. And these guys can't reduce turn meter. They can just do tons of damage. But Kylo Ren can apply healing immunity. So, let's see. Who do we want to take? Yeah, let's just take these guys in. Hopefully, I should be able to get through them before they take out one of my characters. Okay, let's give this to Kylo Ren unmasked. Oh, wow. Yeah, I probably didn't need any of these guys. 59. Yeah, probably could have just soloed it with him, but that's fine. And then against this one, I need to take something which will give me full banners. So what do I have left? I don't think Vader is going to give me full banners. These guys have got a lot of anti-Empire synergy. Hmm. Mm. What do I want to take over here which is going to give me full banners? Maybe JTR? Or Geos? I could probably undersize with Geos. Or maybe Sit Trio. Let's actually do that. Sit Trio with Thrawn. Maybe I might be able to get some banners decently. Yeah. Yeah, let's try that. Let's try Sit Trio with Thrawn. All right, let's take this in. And we'll have to see what we can do to get banners back on everyone. Let's actually fracture Biggs. Okay, let's get some pain on everyone. Start reducing their cooldowns. And let's get rid of Chirrut. Okay, we've got Held by Hatred, which is great. Let's actually get rid of Lando, since he does have his AoE, which I don't want him to do. There he does. All right, let's keep going after him. We'll need to recover full health and protection on at least one of these characters. Let's see. Let's actually get rid of Biggs. And then pass this over to Nihilus so that he can do this. And then let's get rid of Chirrut, who will probably come back now. Let's keep working on Lando. Yeah, this is not great for banners. And we might have to delay a bit on base so that I can get some banners back. Oh, no, come on, man. Yeah, let's just take care of Lando. Some banners back over here. Yeah, probably I'm not going to be able to recover full banners. That's fine. Wonder if I could have taken okay, at least a little bit of banners on this guy. Let's fracture this guy. I'm delaying quite a lot for banners, which I don't know if it'll be... Okay, at least we have him taken care of. Let's recover some banners over here. I think this is probably the best we can get. Maybe one more on Thrawn. Okay, let's give this back to Scion, and with this we can finish it off. So we'll probably get 59, I think, 58. Not great, but it'll have to do. Okay, so 1812. We're in a pretty decent spot right now, and he's kept his negotiator, and he's kept his Radis over here. Interesting. And the negotiator is this is the one with Anakin and Ahsoka, which is going to be interesting. So we have our own negotiator and we have our own malevolence, so we can take those two against these. But I want to wait to see what my opponent does before I attack the ship zone. So let's give it a break and then wait for our opponent to go, CapaFerro, and then we'll do the rest of the ship battles. Alright folks, so my opponent CapaFerro, he did go, and he managed to one-shot my board, which is pretty impressive. And because he did keep at least half of his GLs on defense and a few tough teams, but you'll see that he was able to creatively get around some of my teams and one-shot it. But if you take a look at the score that he made, it's 18, it was, I believe it was 1785. In just the character zone. So he was behind by about 27 banners before going into ships, which is great because that means that I averaged about 59 banners per match in my character zone, and he averaged about 54, 55. So even though he was able to clear and one-shot my character zone, it was it was a little expensive because he had to stretch his teams and wasn't able to take all the teams which could undersize or recover full protection. So going into fleets, I had a 27 banner advantage. And then you can see over here my opponent went ahead and one-shot my fleet as well for 66 banners on each of these. I think he had his Malevolence, took the Malevolence versus the Rebels, and then he took his Rebels, his own Rebels versus the Empire fleet, which was interesting to see. But his Rebels are pretty good, 152 piston. So he was able to one-shot both these fleets for 66 banners each. So did make up a little bit in ships, but I did have a bit of an advantage going in. And what I'm going to show you is I recorded my own fleet battles beforehand. So I need 105 banners in both these fleets, so about 52, 53 in each battle in order to win. So I decided to, since I have both my get ships on offense, I decided to take my Malevolence versus the Grievous versus the Negotiator. And a lot of people like to start with triple tank, like get Houndstooth in there. But because Vulture Droid dies almost immediately, so it's sometimes better if you want all your ships to survive to go with triple tank lineup, which is Sunfac, Hyena Bomber, and Houndstooth. But I'm used to the Vulture Droid as a starting lineup because you anyway get a replacement Vulture Droid. You do lose some banners. It's not always smooth, but this is the fleet that I'm used to going against, so I just decided to take this. Malevolence versus Negotiator is always unpretty banners, but you can see over here all you need to do is make sure that the droids are out and the buzz droids are out, and then you should be able to chew through the tanks pretty easily. With Ahsoka in there, she does cleanse her own debuffs and she gives everyone else retribution, which would have been a problem if Houndstooth was in there. But with the Y-Wing, it's not much of an issue. So what I do is I get the spy, and the wrong person got targeted 5s, and he's got defense up as well, so it's a little tough to take down. But you can see over here, I'm trying to get through him as soon as I can. And Anakin does take out my Sunfac, which is also expected. So I lost a couple of ships, but you know, I am able to target him down and take him out. Now it's just a question of getting through the other ships. So Ahsoka and Y-Wing, they are really not much of a danger. And you'll see over here a very interesting reinforcement comes out, which is going to be the TIE bomber. So I think what CapaFerro assumed that I would do is I would take my rebels against the negotiator, which is why I think he kept his TIE bomber as a reinforcement, hoping that the TIE bomber would probably trip me up. So that was an interesting move actually. I did not anticipate that. And my opponent is quite experienced in ships, so you know, probably figured that that might trip me up. Which is why, you know, good thing I saved both my get ships on offense just for that reason, because I knew there would be some tricks up the sleeve for ships as well. So low banners, but it was a one shot, and that's all I need because I have a 27 banner advantage. And then against the Radis, I have my own negotiator with me, so not much of an issue. I should be able to get through this pretty easily. And I always like to start with the Rex and Y-Wing combination. And I really don't need 3 ships reinforcement. I mean, these guys do a really decent jobs in getting through them in just 1 reinforcement, but you know, I just need it to one shot, and so no unnecessary risk taking. So I got 3 reinforcements in, and their Poe obviously starts first. What I'm doing over here is I'm trying to get rid of their most damage dealing ship, which happens to be Scavenger Ray. So I'm doing what I can to get him into yellow health, and then there with 1 AoE we've taken care of Scavenger's ship before she even gets to move. And now we dispel all the buffs on Poe, and we've got buff immunity on Houndstooth, and I was hoping that he wouldn't taunt, but you know, Radis' ship managed to do a cleanse, so we weren't able to take care of the Houndstooth right away. So it's going to be a problem for us for a little bit, but yeah, it shouldn't be much of an issue because the main damage dealing ships are gone. Now we just need to ensure that we get rid of these ships before the Radis ultimate. So you can see over here, my opponent got in the Extinction Bomber, which will daze all of my ships, which is also another interesting reinforcement. Usually, you know, you see, I would have been actually more worried if I saw a resistance reinforcement, just because that means that they would get to their ultimate faster, but not too worried about this particular ship as a reinforcement. So what I'm doing over here is I'm just trying to get rid of the foresight and trying to make sure that I'm getting I'm trying to get rid of their resistance ships as much as I can. I'm trying to top up protection as much as I can as well. And now you see over here, Poe Dameron's ship, I'm trying to do as many hits as I can on him. And then I reach my ultimate, after which it's really not much of an issue. Okay, so Poe's ship is almost gone, and this one should take care of him. And now it's just a question of cleaning up. So yeah, I was surprised to see the resistance ship not come in even as a second reinforcement. I don't really like Boba Fett as a reinforcement because he tends to get priority when it comes to taking ships, when it comes to reinforcements. So that's always a bad choice. I would never keep Boba Fett as a reinforcement just to force the other ships to come out. So 67 banners there, good outcome. You know, there was never really a doubt with Negotiator against Radis, but made sure that I got a total of 21-22, which is a pretty decent outcome, because I knew that ships was where I might get tripped up, since CapaFerro is he's told me as much, that he's won plenty of battles just with ships alone, and he varies up his ships just by looking at his history and looking at how many different times he's taken different ships. I knew that he would do something to trip me up, which is why I went the safe route and kept both my get ships on offense. Otherwise, you guys know me, I usually keep both my get ships on defense, but that would have really screwed me up this time, because I think my opponent would have tripped me up on with that Negotiator on defense. So good outcome. I won by about 19 banners, which is pretty close actually, because if I had lost even one match somewhere, that would have been a difference of 1 banner in victory. But really well played with from my opponent CapaFerro. He's actually he's faced another content creator before. He told me that a couple of years ago he faced Arnold and he won that match. This was before Arnold started whaling, and now obviously his GP range is maybe a million and a half away from me and Kappa. But a couple of years ago Kappa did defeat Arnold. But yeah, great to see that he managed to one-shot me, which is not many people have done that. All right. So what the other thing that CapaFerro has done is he's been good enough to record all of his battles against me, and he has sent me the link to all of those videos. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep a link to all of those videos in my video description or comment section. So feel free to go and check out if you're curious to see what Kappa took to against some of my teams. Feel free to go and click on the links down below. And some of them are really interesting battles, like especially there's one that he took Treya with, and then his counter to my BAM team was also pretty impressive, and he took a non-GL non-DR counter against my own Darth Revan, which was interesting to see. So few interesting battles to check out. Make sure you go and click on the links down below and check those out. But otherwise, I think yeah, that's the end of week 2. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly did enjoy playing against Kappa, and Kappa, all the best to you for your future matches. Hope you have success for the rest of the GAC, and for the rest of you, I will catch you guys in a couple of days when we begin our week 3. Take care.